Hey everybody, Jared Collier here, and in this single video, I want to show you how to get started with YouTube advertising. So this is a great video for beginners to intermediate. If you want to learn YouTube advertising from start to finish and you want to get there in the shortest amount of time possible, then watch this video all the way through. Here's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn what YouTube ads is, how to get started, who the players are in the community, why you should care about YouTube advertising. We're actually going to launch 2 campaigns. One of the videos I shot with an iPhone 5. The other I shot with a Greenscreen studio. And then we're going to actually see the results. So if all that interests you, if you want to get from point A to point B in the shortest amount of time possible, keep watching this video. Let's get started. We're going to jump right into the PowerPoints. So let's talk about who the people are, or who the players are in the community. We have users, we have creators, we have YouTube, and we have advertisers. What do each of these players want? The users want to block ads. They hate ads. They don't want to see them. They think they're out of control, annoying, and they're not wrong. They pretty much are. They're getting longer. They are doubled now. Oh my gosh. So they want entertainment. They don't want ads. They want no interruption. They just want to keep watching, videos over and over again. Users don't like ads. They think ads are getting out of control. What do creators want? So what are creators? Creators are the people that make YouTube videos to grow a channel. They want to provide value to people. They want to get more subscribers. So what do they really want? They just really want channel growth. They want views because they're monetizing their videos. And when they do that, Google shares ad revenue with them. So the takeaway is creators want to monetize and grow their channels. What does YouTube want? So YouTube is the middleman. They have to balance everything. They have to manage their platform, deal with technical issues and bugs. They have to deal with the sentiment from the users saying they hate ads. They also have to juggle policy issues. So you might have noticed Disney, Nestle, these are companies that are pulling all advertising spend out of YouTube. That's because videos are showing up on content that is not in conjunction with those brands' values. So they have a bunch of things they need to balance and figure out without making all the community players angry. So the takeaway here is, I would say their number one goal is to maximize revenue. They need policy obedience, and they need to find a balance. YouTube wants to keep people on YouTube as long as possible. So what do the advertisers want? Well, they want results. They don't want to do advertising and get nothing in return. They want control, they want positive ROI, and they want targeting options. So the takeaway is advertisers want to target a relevant audience and get results. Some people say that YouTube advertising is for branding. That is not true, as we will find out. But basically, advertisers just want to get results for their advertising. So what does all this mean? What do we know? Users don't like ads. Ads help support creators. YouTube wants to maximize ad revenue that they get from advertisers, and advertisers want to achieve advertising goals. So you might be wondering, why should I even advertise on YouTube? Here are just a few stats. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. 68% of YouTube users watch videos before buying something. So that means they use YouTube to research something before they actually pull the trigger and buy it. People watching YouTube, they just want to watch YouTube videos to relax and feel entertained. 1.9 billion logged in users visit YouTube each month. So there's about 7 billion people in the world. So that's a little less than 1/3 of the world's population that log into YouTube each month. More than 70% of YouTube watch time comes from mobile devices. That's huge. And that could be a really relevant statistic if you want to avoid mobile devices when you go and target your ads. By 2025, half of the US viewers under 32 will not subscribe to a paid TV service. TV watch time is declining, while online video is growing on every device, with YouTube leading the way. Here's some more reasons. Bright Cove's study said that 56% of consumers actually enjoy seeing videos for personal electronics. 52% for household appliances, things like washers, dryers, refrigerators, 48% for tools, 47% for software, 35% for clothing and makeup, and 27% for personal care. So if you're in one of those verticals or industries, video can be a very powerful tool in your marketing tool belt. More reasons. Video is the most memorable form of content for 21% of consumers, 29% of millennials. Now, that's not very surprising. Is video more memorable than other formats? Absolutely. Like, what are you going to remember? A text ad, or are you going to remember a video? Let's move on. 45% of all consumers and 56% of millennials find video more engaging than other formats. And by the way, if you want these sources, they'll be in the links below. Check out the links in the description. Here are some more reasons. Consumers prefer to learn about new products or services from short videos. And this wasn't just marginally, this was overwhelmingly 68% versus text articles, which was 15%. So if you're given the option to learn about a new product or service, are you going to want to watch a video or do you want to read a text article? It's almost a no-brainer. And it's just increasing. It's definitely not becoming like, oh, text articles are suddenly coming back. No, video is dominating. Are marketers using video though? Well, as you'd expect, the trend line is on an upward trend. Percentages of marketers using video as a marketing tool. Now, this isn't specific to YouTube ads specifically, but this is video in general. It's increasing. 87% in 2019. So of the marketers that are not currently using video, do they expect to use video in the next 12 months? This is what that trend looks like. 74%. So the answer is yes. And it's just going to continue. Video is becoming more and more of a need to have instead of a nice to have. So can you see the future? YouTube is competing against cable TV and they're capturing market share as we speak. YouTube ads is constantly testing and rapidly evolving, which is pretty annoying for me because I created a course on YouTube advertising, which means I have to update it all the time whenever they make a change, which is pretty annoying. YouTube ads will eventually get hyper competitive and costs will go up, just like it did for AdWords. I say AdWords, but it's now called Google Ads, but back in the day it was called AdWords, and it was very, very affordable way back in the day. And then it got really competitive really quickly. As more and more advertisers jump on board, Google will gradually raise their standards bar and begin to be more selective, again, just like they did for AdWords. So what happened was back in the day, Google ads, they didn't mind affiliates. They had no problem with affiliates. A bunch of affiliates were doing paid search, and then Google said, okay, this is great. But as more and more advertisers came on, Google had the power. And at that point, when Google has the power, they can be more selective. They can change their policies. They can say, well, now that we have all these choices, we are going to say that affiliates suck. And then they just cut all the affiliates out. And then they just say, okay, now we have a higher level. These are the new policies. We're going to ban all these accounts. So what's going to happen with YouTube is the standards will go up. Right now, you'll be pretty surprised, maybe it won't be, on what types of videos you're seeing on YouTube for YouTube ads. And the last point here is video marketing skills will be a must instead of a nice to have. So it's not going to be something like where you can just be like, oh yeah, sure, maybe we'll do YouTube advertising. It's going to be a must. Here's another thing I saw in my email literally the other day. YouTube TV, now with new networks for the whole household. YouTube TV now includes more of your favorites. Let's read what these channels are. Discovery, HGTV, Food Network, TLC, Investigation Discovery, Animal Planet, Travel Channel, Motor Trend. Those are not small channels. Those are major networks, and they joined YouTube TV. So can you see where this trend is going? And you might say, I get it. But isn't video marketing hard? Let me tell you what you don't need. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need to be charismatic or good looking. You don't need to be in front of the camera. You don't need to hire a production company at $10,000 per video. You don't have to have special effects. You don't need to produce Steven Spielberg quality videos. And you don't need to take it too seriously or overcomplicate it or make it perfect. And I say this because video production is the #1 reason people procrastinate on getting started with video marketing. I mean, it's kind of common sense though. What's easier to make, a text ad or a video ad? I can make a text ad in about 2 minutes. I can shoot a video in about 2 minutes, but that's with no editing. So is video a little bit harder than text ads? Yeah. Is it a lot harder? Maybe. It really depends on what type of video you want to create. So I want to cover these misconceptions real quick, if I could. The first two are from an agency perspective because I used to work at an agency for 9+ years, and these are the things that I always thought about YouTube ads. The first is the client needs to already have videos. First of all, this is not, so this is true that we do need videos to advertise on YouTube with. Technically, I mean, you could do display network with banner ads, but we're talking about videos as the ad format. So basically, here's how I would address this. I would say, as an agency, your #1 goal is to generate sales and leads for your clients. That's your #1 goal. That should be your #1 goal. Video is not hard to create. You as an agency should be saying, client, we are going to create these videos in-house for you. We will charge you a fee. These videos are not that hard. We can do these in-house. They don't have to be something over the top or super hard. You just have to learn a few skills. You need a few pieces of equipment, which I'll show you here in a minute. And then you charge your clients. You have a new service line for which you can make more money for your agency, and you can tap into the massive resource that is YouTube. So I don't think that's an excuse. We're going to cross that one off. The second one is the client needs to want to build a YouTube following. Now, I thought this, and it was completely wrong. It was a mistake. The client does not need to build a YouTube following. They don't need to have to want to build subscribers. All you need to do as an agency is to create a YouTube specific account for your agency. And then when your clients want to do YouTube advertising, then you put those videos into that account. It's really that simple. Let's cross that off the list. The next one is it requires expensive equipment and software. This is partially true. It does require equipment, but some of that equipment you probably already have. Things like a phone. You can shoot video on your phone. For the software, I use personally Adobe Premiere Pro. You could also use Camtasia. You could also find free software. So it's just all about how resourceful you are. I have to pay somebody thousands of dollars to do it. That's not true. Like I said, your cell phone can shoot high quality videos, especially the newer models. Like I said, I have an iPhone 5, and that's what I was working with in the beginning. So you can totally do that without paying somebody thousands of dollars. I don't have the time. Now, this is probably the #1 reason people don't start. And when they say this, what they're really saying is, I don't have the willingness to dedicate the time that is needed to learn it. And it's understandable. It's not something you can just pick up overnight, which is exactly why I'm trying to make this video, trying to help you learn how to do YouTube ads in the quickest amount of time possible. So it is true. It does require some time. It's not as easy as making a text ad, but it's all about putting forth the effort that you want in order to learn it. So it's really up to you. I don't have the required skills. It does require some skills. I will gladly share any skills that you want to learn, and it also depends on what type of video you're trying to make. So it does require maybe some editing skills and maybe some presentation skills if you can get in front of the camera, or if you can hire somebody to do it. That's a skill. Just managing the project, that's a skill. So it really depends on what you want to do with your video, but the good news is all skills can be learned. Everything is on YouTube. You can go learn everything and anything you want. So it's all about being resourceful again. I don't know how to make an effective video. Well, we can cross that off the list because I'm going to show you here in a minute. I don't want to be in front of the camera. Now, I understand this one completely 100%. Chances are you don't want to be the face of your brand. You don't want to put yourself out there. You don't want to risk looking foolish. You might not know what to say. You don't like yourself on camera. A lot of good and valid reasons. These are a lot of reasons that I was hesitant in the beginning too. And you don't have to be on camera. That's the good news. You can hire somebody else to do it. Just know that if you go that route, it's going to cost you additional money because you're hiring talent to do the work that you don't want to do. I tried it before, it didn't work. Now, this is totally true. Back in the day when I first started with YouTube advertising, the targeting was all over the board, completely irrelevant. And YouTube works in a way where you can target who they are and also where they are, so what content they're looking at. As a result, when you go and look and see where your placements are showing up, it can look pretty random, if you will. It has gotten better, but I won't say it's perfect at this point. So if you tried it before, it didn't work, don't let that discourage you, because we're going to show you how to do it better this next time around in this one video. The last one is I wouldn't know what to say or do, and that's where you write a script. You practice, you rehearse, you know exactly what you want to say, who you want to talk to, how you want to talk to them, what things you want to bring up, and then you just deliver. So we can cross that off the list. So what equipment is essential for doing video advertising? You need a camera. You can use a mirrorless camera, DSLR, or you can use your phone. If you don't have either of these things, you can ask a friend or a family member. Chances are somebody you know has one of these that you could borrow. Then there's lights. Lighting is super important. Right now I have 4 lights around me. The next one is mic. So you need a good, decent quality mic. My microphone cost me $32. That's what you're listening to right now. $32 for a mic. And if your mic sucks, then guess what? That's where software comes in. It can do things to your audio to make it sound more professional. And in this screenshot, I'm showing Adobe Premiere Pro and Camtasia. Check the links in the description below if you want to learn more about those pieces of software. Now I want to talk about your strategy. So this is a YouTube ads strategy. You need to have a funnel in place before you push go. What I mean by this is a lot of people just start advertising, or they just make a video, they put it out there, it fails, and they wonder why. In this, I'm saying you need to map out, like literally get a pen and paper, draw out every single step in the process, and understand exactly when somebody does something on your video, where are they going, why are they going there, what are they going to do once they are there, and then how does that benefit you? How does that help achieve your goals as an advertiser? So here's an example. You create a video ad, you say things in it that get people to take action. Step 2, they do take action. So let's say you offer something that's very low barrier. A lot of people do webinars, so they say, hey, this is time sensitive right now, just go visit my webinar. It's free training, blah, blah, blah. You go there, and it's actually not. It's not really a free training. It's more like a pitch. But anyways, you go there and they just basically give you some information about what that opportunity is. That's happening a lot on YouTube right now. But the point is, somebody clicks your video ad. And depending on the ad format too, right? You don't know probably what discovery ads are right now at this point, but it's basically when somebody searches in YouTube and they click one of those thumbnails that are in the results, that takes them to a watch page. From there, your strategy is a lot different than if you're showing your video ads in stream. So in stream ads are when you're showing your videos inside of the video player when somebody's on a watch page. So you have to think about these different ad formats, the strategy behind whatever it is you're offering, and so on. But if you can get people to take you up on that low barrier offer, you send them to a landing page with an opt-in form, you collect their email, they give you their name and email. Now they get into your email sequence or your autoresponder. Your automated email sequences nurture and follow up with a person. So what we're doing in these emails is we're saying value, 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 or actually the first email would be like, hey, here's the thing that you wanted, send it. And then the next couple of emails is going to be value, 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 building relationship, learning more about the person, just talking with them like they're a person, being very personable. And then it goes into maybe a hint at what your offer is. And then you have an email in your sequence that is the hard sell. And then you go into the follow-up. And then after that, it's up to you whether you want to keep nurturing them or keep sending them content. So that's kind of like a general idea of what you need to have for your funnel. But how do you get people in your funnel? By making an effective video ad and by giving something of value away. So this is the easiest way to get people to take action, to get them from YouTube and into your email list. So how do we create effective video ads? This is the framework. I've evaluated about 500 plus video ads. This is the framework. The first is a 5-second hook. And by the way, this is a framework for an in-stream ad. A discovery ad's a little bit different. So for an in-stream ad, you have a 5-second full 100% attention. They cannot skip the ad. Let's assume that these are skippable in-stream ads. And this is where you say, I need a small time commitment. So for an example, give me 62 seconds and I'll show you how to do X, Y, Z. You should also tell them why they should. At that point, they can skip the ad. The next step would be pre-qualify them. So you could say, skip this ad if this offer is not for you. Or feel free to skip this ad if you're not interested in X, Y, Z. This helps prevent you from paying money. So a lot of people don't know, but YouTube advertising only costs money when you actually get a view. So what's the definition of a view? Well, let's say your video is 30 seconds or longer. If the person watches 30 seconds or more, then you pay. Let's say your video is less than 30 seconds. Let's say it's 18 seconds. If the person watches the entire 18 seconds, then you pay. Let's say the video is 18 seconds and the user clicks the link at the 13-second mark, then you still pay. So the idea is if they watch up until 30 seconds or watch the whole video, if it's less than 30 seconds, or if they click or interact with your video in any way, that's when you pay. Otherwise, you don't pay for them showing your impression or your video ad. So for example, a person could watch 29 seconds of your video, not click anything, and skip it at the end of 29 seconds. And let's say your video is 35 seconds long in total. You don't pay, but they still watched 29 seconds of it. So that's kind of the appeal with YouTube advertising. The next thing is you want to pitch them. So this is where you give them information. This is an open field. There's a lot of different ways to give them information. You want to relate to them, relate to their emotional problems with whatever it is they're trying to solve or whatever it is your product or service tries to solve. If you can relate to what their pain points are, you could potentially amplify it. That's an option. You also might want to show proof. Show them why your solution is so good. Or maybe hint at your solution. And you also want to deal with objections up front. And this comes from knowing who your audience is. And this also comes from knowing what they want to solve. And the way you know this is by doing your research on your target market. After the pitch, you have a call to action. This is where you invite them to take action. Tell them what to do next. You can optionally have a countdown. So start it from 15 seconds or so, 15, 14, 13. You can tell them where to click. And you can also have an extended end screen. So that's a screen where you purposely built in 10 extra seconds just to show arrows or just to leave a graphic up saying, click here or here, get this free offer. That's kind of the general idea for the framework for an in-stream ad. If you're curious, I created a YouTube ads examples playlist. This playlist contains over 100 plus videos that I've been saving, and it gives you ideas for what other people's video ads look like. You can go through them, dissect them, understand what other people are doing. And then here, this is a script. So this is an example script, and I'm not going to read it to you, but it kind of incorporates all the details that I just showed you from the framework of a video in-stream ad. So we have a hook, we pre-qualify them, we pitch them by relating to them, we give them a solution, we handle objections, and then we have a call to action. So that's really the framework for writing a script. Okay, we're going to take a look at 2 videos I shot. The first one was in my home in a studio with a green screen in the background. The second one was shot outside with an iPhone 5. The whole point of the iPhone 5 video is to show you that it literally takes no money to create a video, but you'll also notice it's not the most professional. So let's take a look at these videos. If you don't want to see these, feel free to skip ahead about 5 minutes. First video is about 2 minutes. Second one is 2 minutes 45 seconds. Hi guys, Jared Collier here, and I want to share with you exactly why you're seeing this ad right here. I'm targeting people that are interested in content related to YouTube advertising or video marketing. If that's not you, what did I mess up here? Feel free to skip this video, but if you have a minute, I'd like to share with you my story on how I got started with YouTube advertising, but more importantly, how you can get started to start generating sales and leads for your business, for your clients, or for your channel. So I manage paid search accounts for everything from local small businesses all the way up to literally Fortune 100 companies. And the question always came up, should we try YouTube advertising? Now back then I thought that the client either one, had to want to build a YouTube presence or get subscribers or build out their channel, or 2, had to already have videos. Looking back now, it really was a lack of YouTube ads knowledge on my part because I just never had enough time to figure it all out. As a result, we missed out on huge opportunities to get more sales and leads for our clients, even though we were killing it in other areas. So I'm making this quick video to help other marketers like myself avoid making the same mistake I did. And to help you, I put together a 100% completely free crash course on YouTube ads that will teach you step by step how to be successful with YouTube ads. It contains a downloadable roadmap and checklist that you can get right now. And even if you've tried YouTube ads in the past and it didn't work, or if you just don't like being in front of the camera, I will still show you ways you can be successful with YouTube ads. All you have to do right now is to click this link right here if you're on mobile, or this link here if you're on desktop, to get my 100% completely free YouTube ads crash course. And don't worry, I'm not going to get you there and try to hard sell you or make you watch a 2-hour webinar just to find out it's 6 easy payments of $2,000 each. It's all at your own pace. So click the link here or here, get my 30-minute YouTube ads crash course, and start crushing it for your business or your clients. Now let's take a look at the iPhone 5 video shot outside. Hey everybody, Jared Collier here, and if my targeting is correct, you're interested in learning about YouTube advertising. If not, feel free to skip this video because it may not be relevant to you, and I don't know who messed up. But if you are, stick around. I want to tell you a story. So I used to manage paid search accounts for local businesses, anywhere from small local businesses to literally Fortune 100 companies. And a question that I usually got asked was, should we do YouTube advertising? And the questions I always came back with were, well, do they have a YouTube channel? And do they want to build a YouTube presence? And also, do they have videos currently? And that was a huge mistake on my part. And as a result, we missed out on a lot of potential opportunity to grow and build leads and sales for our clients. And it really came down to a lack of knowledge on my part. And I simply just did not put forth the time and effort to learn it because it was complicated. YouTube is a lot different than other forms of advertising. So what I did was I put together a free training. It's 100% free, doesn't cost you anything. It's a crash course on YouTube ads. It's the stuff that I wish I knew before I actually did YouTube ads for an agency for 9+ years. And nobody ever explained this stuff to me. I had to figure it out on my own. And I want to share that information with you 100% free. If you've tried YouTube ads in the past, it didn't work, don't worry. I'm going to show you exactly how to do YouTube advertising. Also, if you don't want to be on camera, you don't have to be. I'll show you techniques and ways to not be on camera. So there's a lot of things in this training that I just can't cover in this quick little video. And I don't want you to make the same mistake. Don't look back, over the course of your career and say, you know what? I should have got started with YouTube ads sooner, and then when you do, it's going to be saturated. So click the link either, sorry about this, up here, if you're on mobile, over here, if you're on desktop, and that'll take you to the free training, 100% free. Like I said, it's solid material and it's not a webinar, okay? I'm not gonna try and get you somewhere and hard sell you or twist your arm. It's simply a free training at your own pace. And it's not gonna be like 5 easy payments of $5.99 per year. No, it's not. I just wanna help people that might be in the same position as me, might not know the opportunity on YouTube that they're missing out on, and then when they finally do, they'll realize it's too late or it's getting too competitive. So definitely check it out. Start learning YouTube ads, take my free crash course, and get started with it right away before everybody else does. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit crazy, but before we begin the craziness, I just want to explain what we're trying to do. I have a teachable platform that sells online courses. The course I'm going to be promoting is this free YouTube ads crash course. When people enroll in this course and they land on this thank you page, I want to fire a conversion. What is a conversion? A conversion is an action that you deem valuable. So when somebody enrolls in the course and they hit this page, I want to say, Google Ads, this is a conversion. And it'll record in Google Ads. So that's the whole point here. And there's a lot of pre-set up processes like setting up Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, other things that I'm not going to be able to cover. But let's get started. And don't get lost in the details here. What really matters is we're just trying to fire a conversion, okay? So in Google Tag Manager, you go to Triggers, you go to New, you set up a trigger. This will be a page view of this page. I'm copying this slug here, a URL slug. We're going to say this will fire on some pages. That page would be the page path. And for now, we'll just say YouTube ads, thank you, page, free, view. So I can't have any of these parentheses here. Okay. Save. There we go. We have a trigger. Now let's go into tags. For the tag, I need a Google Ads conversion tag to fire. So that trigger is going to trigger the conversion code to fire. That's the idea. So we're going to go into Google Ads account, tools, conversions. We go to the plus sign, website. And I know I'm doing this pretty fast, but this will be, it's actually a lead, page view. You could say it's a purchase, but it's free. So it doesn't really matter what you set here. I'm just going to choose purchase. Free YouTube course. Value. This will be free. So I'll just say don't use a value for this conversion. And we're going to count this for one time it happened. Well, this is usually so this is kind of complicated because this is a free course. And if the same person enrolls twice with 2 different emails, which I don't know why they would do that, but if they did, I want to count that? And then this is where you would say, well, I only want to count that as one conversion, or I want to count each one of those as one. So that would be 2. So here, it doesn't really matter since this is a free course, but it gets more important when there's money involved. So if it was a monetary transaction, I would definitely choose every. But for this course, I just want 1 because you can't really sign up again after you use an email. So we're going to choose 1. And then these other standard ones are default 30 days, 1-day view through. Let's hit save and continue. Okay, so we have it. And then there's this option for use Google Tag Manager. We click that. We copy this conversion ID. We go back into Google Tag Manager. Now don't get lost. I'm sorry if I'm going a little bit too quickly, but kind of have to in order to get through this. This is where you paste the conversion ID. Before I do, I'm going to call this GADS YouTube Ads Course Free Conversion. Okay. And then I could get that label as well. Let's look at that label. Copy that label. go to Google Tag Manager, paste that conversion label here. Save. We'll add a trigger. That trigger will be our free course page view. Now we hit save. Okay, so it's in there. Now we have to go to our page and we have to check it out. So let's preview. Let's put this Google Tag Manager into preview mode. This is what it looks like when it's in preview mode. We'll refresh this page, and what you'll notice is this bar pops up at the bottom. And then what does it show us? It says this YouTube ads course free conversion fired. So that's great. It's exactly what we want. That means it will record a conversion within Google Ads. That's what we want. Great. So now let's exit the preview mode, hit OK. We're going to say submit, and then we could add a name. We'll just say added conversion code for free course. You could further that here. We're just going to say publish. Okay, that was published. Now we could go to this page, and by the way, when this bar pops up, you're the only one that can see it. It doesn't affect your website. Your people that come into your website won't be able to see it or anything. If I refresh now, the preview is gone because we turned the preview off. Another thing we can do is add a goal to Google Analytics. So in your home section of Google Analytics, go to admin down here at the bottom. Then we go into goals, new goal. We want to add a goal when people reach this page. Very similar to what we did. We're going to call this a sign up. And we'll hit continue. We will say this is a destination, so it's visiting a page. We'll give it a name. We'll say, I'll probably change this later, but YouTube ads crash course. We'll call it that, hit continue. The regular expression of this destination page is this. Value off, it's free. Funnel, we're just not going to do that. We're going to say verify this goal. And at least something came through so we can see that it would work. Let's hit save. There we go. We've just set up a goal in Google Analytics. All right. So now let's switch gears. What we're going to do is move to actually setting up our Google Ads campaign. Before I do, I want to talk about the differences between different goal types. So when I say goal types, what do I mean? When we go over here into video campaigns, we go to plus campaign. That's to add a new campaign. New campaign. So Google Ads wants you to start off with choosing your goal. This is confusing. So I think the idea here is they want you to really think about what you want to get out of your marketing. As a result, you have to choose a goal before you even continue. You can choose sales, leads, website traffic, product and brand consideration. In fact, you can choose all of these except app promotion. If we choose app promotion, we see video campaign type is not available. But recently, they did add support for a sales goal. You could choose video now. So that's relatively new as of April 2019. But if you choose leads, website traffic, product and brand consideration, brand awareness and reach, or basically a no goal, you can choose video as the campaign type. Also notice if you choose brand and product consideration, for example, you have these other subtypes to choose from. Shopping, ad sequence, influence consideration. If you choose brand awareness and reach, you also get different options here. Bumper, non-skippable in-stream, outstream ad sequence, or skippable in-stream. So the takeaway here is whatever you choose for your goal, it's going to alter your options later. For our example, we're just doing an in-stream video ad. So we want to set up a goal type that allows for in-stream ads. And most of these do. And it really is also determined by that campaign subtype. So our campaign type, we're always going to choose video. Our goal, this, like, for example, I'll give you an example. Leads and website traffic. If we choose leads, video, and we say continue, the goal here is to drive conversions. And I say goal, I mean really the subtype is technically called drive conversions. The goal is named leads. But let's change that. Let's say it's website traffic instead, and we say continue. So now the goal is website traffic, but it's still a subtype drive conversions. So what is the difference between leads and website traffic? After doing, a lot of research and based on my own experience, other people have the same question. And there really is not a noticeable difference within the interface. There might be some underlying something or other causing them to perform differently. Perhaps maybe the algorithm will favor anyone that clicks through to your website, and it's less weighted on the fact that people are not converting. It's just the fact that they visited your website. Whereas leads might be more heavily weighted toward people that actually perform the action, the conversion that we just set up. But I don't think that's really clear as of right now. And also, in my experience, when I've chosen leads, you also need some past historic data for it to really get going. If you don't have any previous conversion data, it's going to be very hard for you to get that ball rolling. And sometimes your campaigns won't go anywhere. You'll get 0 impressions. And that's the risk of choosing one of these two options. A good idea is to use a cost per view campaign to get started. Get some data within your Google Ads account. And once Google knows a few conversions and what they look like, then you might want to switch over to one of these different campaign types with these goals. And then it shouldn't have a problem getting started. That's the idea anyways. But for this example, let's just choose traffic. We're just going to choose website traffic, video, continue. For the campaign name, I usually use a convention. This is not set in stone. So the first one is video. So this is not search network, not display network. It's video. Then this is for traffic. So I use the goal here in the name. And then this is the bid strategy. So down here, we have 2 bid strategies we can choose from: target CPA and maximize conversions. So that's why I put max conversions there. Videos, this is more like the network. So I go down here. If you look and see what networks are available, you can't do video partners. You can't do YouTube search results with this particular campaign type and subtype. And we continue onward. Studio, that's just what this particular ad is going to be about. Just a name that I gave it. For budget, let's just give it, we'll say $10. Delivery method, choose standard when you're just starting out. There's no reason to choose accelerated on YouTube. We can choose target CPA. And since I don't have any conversions, you just saw me set up the conversion goal. What am I going to do? I'm just going to say maximize conversions. Okay. And now for the networks, we don't really have an option there. All languages, we could choose English. I think that's a better idea because 1, my video is in English, and 2, people would be able to understand it if they speak English. We can take the locations, let's say it's the United States, and we can break them up into 50 states, for example. And then from there, if you were really going to spend a lot of money on this, you can see which states are really getting the most traffic. And it's going to be the ones that are obvious, like California, Texas, New York, Florida. Those are the states that are going to really dominate. But it's a good idea to break them out because you might have good results in one state, not good results in another, and you can adjust the bid modifiers on that. And you can also get as granular as you want with that strategy. But it's not very easy to just go through here, go to advanced search, and start adding a bunch of states. I mean, we could add locations in bulk, and then we can copy and paste the list. I actually don't have a list on me right now, and I probably will do that once this video is done. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep United States. And I also want to just give you that tip. Sorry, my microphone's in the way here. I'm trying to see the screen. So now we want to go here. This is basically how you control where your ads show. This is a control that prevents your ads from showing on risky content. This is important to people like Disney and Nestle that want to control their ads from not showing next to or on content that is not in alignment with their brand messaging or values. So that's what these controls do. Additional settings, devices. This was relatively new. You could now target specific devices. Usually in the past, whenever I click this, these weren't here. Now they're here. So that's good. Now I don't have to go create the campaign first and then add negative 100% after the fact. I can now say, I don't want to target TV screens. And I definitely recommend not targeting TV screens. For example, I play YouTube on my Xbox, and I don't even know how to click. I don't even think there is a way to click through to an ad from my Xbox. So don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. And also, you probably want to save money by not advertising on mobile phones, at least in the beginning. My advice would be, don't advertise on mobile. Just start with computers only. So take off tablet, take off mobile phones. And what we'll probably see is when we look at our devices, it'll say negative 100%. Okay, so there we go. I've chosen just computer. And I'm just doing what I would recommend you do when you first get started. This is frequency capping. So have you ever been online and saw the same ad over and over and over and over and over? It just followed you. We can prevent that annoyingness using frequency capping. How often do we want people to see our ad or the same person to see our ad? This is the control to help us achieve that. Let's say we just want to limit our ad impressions to 1 per day for this campaign. So we're capping the impressions, and then I'm not going to worry about capping the views. If the same person sees the view, it doesn't matter to me. But a good number here would be maybe 1 to 3. And it really depends on how your structure is of your entire campaign. So there's no right or wrong here. And it's really something that you have to decide on your own. We're just going to keep it like this. Okay, ad schedule. What I would recommend, you can only have 6 slots. So if you have Google Analytics, look at your hours and days of the week. Break up this ad schedule in accordance with the peak hours. So usually people are sleeping, right? And then it goes up when everybody wakes up and gets to work and they're bored and they're working. And then it's dinner time, and then they maybe look at some more internet stuff, and then they go to sleep. That's really the trend. No matter where you live, that's pretty much the trend. So split that up into 6 segments. Focus more on the beginning of the day, because that's when people are going to be converting the most, in my experience, and go from there. But I don't have time to just break them out. It's kind of tedious to do it in the interface here. Okay, so that's it. We have our campaign settings set. Now let's move on to the ad group settings. The ad group settings, we're going to name this ad group and the other campaign that I'm going to create just in-stream, because that's the ad format, and keywords. Okay, so now what do we need to do actually? We have to go into our YouTube channel. We need to upload our videos. So our videos, as we've already seen, are these right here. We need to take these videos, get them onto YouTube. Let's go upload video. We're going to drag these guys right here. All right. Now the only 2 things that I would recommend is 1, making this unlisted. You can basically have 2 statuses where you can still do YouTube ads. The first is public, which means anyone can go to it, anyone can see it, or unlisted. That means anyone can go to it, but they have to have the link. And then private, that's not going to work. And then schedule, that's completely irrelevant. We're not trying to schedule these in the future. We're trying to do YouTube advertising. Okay, so I would recommend unlisted. And another thing you could do, if you wanted to, is you could disable comments if you wanted to. And I believe you can disable ratings for this, disable comments for this. That's completely up to you. I personally don't mind comments. I personally want the feedback. And the chances are people are not going to know how to get to your video ad. One more thing I'll mention, there is this setting here. It says publish to subscriptions, feed, and notify subscribers. I would recommend unchecking that for any videos you upload with the intent to do YouTube advertising. Okay, we've done that there. Another thing I want to show you is how to actually get the video ID of an ad. So when you go to YouTube, let's see if we can do it. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. Give me an ad, PewDiePie. Come on. Aha. Okay, so this is a video ad here. You right click it. Notice how it doesn't say, get YouTube video URL. It says stats for nerds. There's this part here. This first part is the video ID. It's after this SCPN. We delete that. We go to this. We're going to be able to see it is unlisted. Okay? That's how you get the video ID of an ad. Most people don't know how to do that. Just passing this information on. Okay, next thing we need to do. We need to open up this video here. Also do the same thing that we did for the advanced settings. Uncheck, publish this subscription, and we're done. Now, the next thing I would recommend is probably giving even though these are ads, like I just showed you, people can show up to them. If they do, you want to make sure you have a description here. At the minimum, if your goal is to get the user to take some kind of action, put the link to where you want them to go, like this. That's at the minimum. Also, if you're doing discovery ads, you really need to have that description. Okay, for the headline, I'm just going to put something simple like how to start YouTube advertising. I'll say studio. So this was shot in a studio. I'm going to copy that. We're going to say, we could edit these tags. I'm not trying to rank organically or anything, so I'm just going to not worry about it right now. For this title here, we're going to say same thing except outside. And then also we want to copy that description here. And this will make it unlisted. Advanced settings, this is set to not publish to subscribers. Okay, so we got everything. We've uploaded our videos to YouTube. The optional step is to make a better thumbnail. If you were going to do discovery ads, you absolutely have to do a thumbnail, period. If you're going to do in-stream ads, nobody is necessarily going to see your thumbnail. So there's not really a point to it unless you make them public. So it's really up to you, but in any event, I would recommend just making a thumbnail in case you change your mind in the future. But you can always do it at any time in the future too. So we're going to say done and done. Now what we do is we take these URLs, we go back to Google Ads. We want to find our video. Let's paste that URL in here. There is our in-stream ad. Now, I just wanted to get that in here. This will be the outside, or this will be the studio ad. Now, for my targeting, because of time, I'm not going to be able to go through every single targeting option, but let's try to run through it in case you're curious. This demographics. So taking a step back, all of these things are called targeting methods. What you need to know is they work, these five, well, actually, technically, gender is a targeting method, age is a targeting method, parental status is a targeting method, and household income is a targeting method, but they kind of roll it up into one higher level label called demographics. But technically, those other ones are targeting methods. But it's easier to think of demographics as a targeting method. So I'm going to talk about it in that sense. So we have these 5 targeting methods. When you add another targeting method, when you add two or more targeting methods, that's going to narrow your targeting. Okay, that's really important. But if you add things within a targeting method, that has the effect of expanding your reach. So if I were to add a bunch of interests, if I were going to go into affinity audiences, add this and this and this, that's expanding my reach. But then if I go and choose a different targeting method, and they have to be into baking, that's going to narrow significantly. Okay, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to get rid of these, clear all. Let's go through this. So we have gender, age, parental status, household income. My recommendations: don't mess with household income. It's probably not very accurate to begin with. The second tip: unknown. There's a lot of people in these unknown buckets. If you don't know anything about your demographics or ages that you want to target or genders, don't touch it. You're just going to run it, see how it does, and then optimize after you get data so you can be data driven. If, though, you're in an industry where you know that you only sell like women's bathing suits, let's say, you could choose just female, but it's still going to cut out quite a few females that might be interested in your product. So just do it with caution. Audiences. This is a massive topic. So these are called detailed demographics, and we have this affinity audiences. You can add custom affinity, which lets you add based on interest, which are really just like keywords. So if I typed in school and we hit enter, it adds school as an interest. You could target URLs. So this is a way you could you could add your competitors' URLs here and create an affinity audience around just your competitors. So it's saying target people that are interested in my competitors if you were to do that. That's one way to do this. A place. So if you do place, this is going to cause some incompatibility issues. So it says here, adding places will limit the compatibility of this audience to video campaigns on YouTube only. For our cases, we don't really care because that's all we want to target. And a good example would be museum. We have all these topics. They're predefined. You have to choose them. And then lastly, you can target apps. These are phone apps. If you know of a good one, you can put it in here. And collectively, all of these different things like apps, places, interests, and URLs, they come to create an audience. This is a group of people that are interested in these things, and collectively, we want to target them. So once you save this, you can use that audience to be your target. And then we have this other area. It's like basically in market or custom intent. And so in market, we should probably talk about this. Actually, I should go back here, talk about affinity audiences. That's very broad. So what are they? It's basically when TV wanted to scale to YouTube, then YouTube provided this affinity audiences as a broad way for big TV advertisers to scale onto YouTube. Essentially, that's it. That's all you need to know. Probably you're not going to find a lot in there. Moving on, let's look at custom intent audiences. I'll show you one that I created for an HTML. So beginner HTML, how to code HTML, HTML courses, learn HTML. That is the audience. You just add search terms. So again, it's like keyword targeting. It's just like a group of keywords. Okay, that's really what it is. In market audiences, these are people that are actively looking for something. I'll give you a good example. Activewear, costumes. Let's try to find something else. Let's say insurance. People that are actively looking for insurance. So here, in market audience, financial services, insurance. If somebody was actively looking for insurance, we could go in here and go into financial services like here. And what was it? I think it was insurance right here. And we could even narrow it further. So these are people that are pretty much ready to buy. And it's based on a lot of factors that Google gathers about people. People come and go in and out of markets all the time. That's the idea, is to capture them when they're most interested in some product or service. And people see good results within market audiences, so I would consider trying it if you can find a good target there. Okay, moving on. Life events. This is things like moving, new job change, new pet, that kind of thing. I don't really have a lot of experience of using that very much. And then lastly, you're getting into your remarketing lists, the people that have visited your website, people that are similar to your remarketing lists. I'm not going to expand these, but you can see them here. So that's how, and the sad thing is, they're all under this umbrella of audiences. It would really, really be nice and make YouTube targeting a lot more flexible if they were broken out, but they're not. Like, for example, you can't say parental status, I'm looking for parents of 0 to 1 year olds and who are single. You can't say that because this is really looking for people that are single or parents of infants. So that is the limitation within audiences. I hope that makes sense. So all these things I was talking about up here, this is kind of things about who the people are. It even says right here, people, who you want to reach. Down here, this is the content. So this is put in context, what is the content that they are looking at. So this, in another way, is said, this is where they're finding this information. For my example, I'm going to use keyword targeting and I'm only going to put 5 keywords in here. That's it. That's how I'm going to target my videos. There's no fancy demographics. There's no fancy audience targeting. Just 5 keywords, just because I want to keep this super simple. Okay, that's it. We're going to close that up. So this is people looking at content related to one of those 5 keywords. And collectively, those keywords work to try and find a page that maps up to a higher level classification, if you will, about my keywords. And if it finds it, it's going to say, it's a match. Let's show the video. That's how it's theoretically supposed to work. Some of the results sometimes can baffle you, so I just say theoretically, because it depends on who you ask. I've called Google. They have given me a variety of answers, which I won't get into. Topics, this is a good starting point if you have a broader product or service. If you have something that's super niche, I would definitely recommend going with custom affinity audiences or even using custom intent audiences or keywords. Okay, so that is topics. There's a lot there. There's like 3,000 topics. I'm not going to go through them. And then placements. So this is a really cool thing. The first thing I'll mention is there are app categories. If you use Google Ads Editor, you can actually exclude all these app categories, which I can't show you right now, but that's what I would recommend doing. Or you can go through here and manually exclude them, which can be tedious. I don't recommend, if you're new to YouTube ads starting out with app categories, don't just exclude them all. You'll never have to worry about it again. And optionally, you might want to go up here, and that's kind of why I left this off. You could also just exclude games. Probably want to exclude that, and live streaming as well. Mature audiences, those are good content exclusions to include. And I always, by default, exclude sexually suggestive here. But back to placements, this allows you to target channels, specific videos, websites, and apps. Mainly, if you're brand new, you really want to just focus on targeting specific channels or very specific videos. So one thing you can do is if you want to target an entire playlist, you can target all the videos within that playlist by getting the video IDs. You're going to need to do that. And this is a research step. You're going to have to actually do research to get this information, okay? And that's all I'm going to say there. This is very powerful. This is how you have the most control, because you know, if you say, I only want my ads to show up on this video or this channel, that's the only place it should show. So it's a great place to start if you're a beginner. Okay, so we have that. Now, I have my video in here. My final URL, that will be this URL here. Let's copy that, paste it here, and this will be HTTPS. And then for the display URL, you probably don't want to include all that. I just tend to camel case the important letters. Okay, and then the call to action. Now notice with leads, campaigns, or I say campaigns, what I mean is leads goals or website traffic goals, call to action is not optional. Whereas if you chose a different goal when you started this campaign, it would be optional. Okay, so that's the difference between these kind of target CPA or maximize conversions campaigns. you have to put in a call to action. And that's actually a good thing, because you'll get a lot of interactive elements within your ad. Call to action, I really haven't even planned this out, so I'm not going to think of it right now and waste your time. Let me pause the video. Okay, what I decided to do was just say enroll now for the call to action. You only get 10 characters there, so it's pretty limiting, and you have 15 characters for the headline, so I just said free training. I'm not going to auto-generate because when you upload an image, it can get distorted, so I would not recommend it to begin with. Advanced URL options we're not going to cover. We don't need them anyways. So this is our ad. This is what it looks like on mobile. This is what it looks like on desktop. Notice we are only targeting desktop because that's what I set the device to. This is what it'll look like. Okay, let's hit save and continue. Everything is pretty much done. Oh, I always do that. We always have to give it an ad name. So we will call it Studio. Save and continue. I swear I do that every single time. All right, create, continue on to campaign. There it is. This is the ad group. This is the campaign over here. All right, guys, if you're still watching, first, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you're getting a lot of value out of it. What I'm going to show you now is how to make our workload more efficient using Google Ads Editor. This is version 1.02 or something crazy, super early for Google Ads Editor. I'm so used to Google AdWords Editor. So what we want to first do is import the campaign that we just created, and then we want to replace the video that we had with our outside video. So we go here, get recent changes. Then we go to more data. Then we say campaigns I select. Then we find that studio campaign. So now we're downloading it from Google Ads in case you don't know what Google Ads Editor is. It lets you make bulk changes offline. You don't have to be online, but you definitely have to have a connection to the internet, but you can make changes not in the interface and then upload them to Google Ads. So we say done. This is the campaign. It is active currently. Now, why are we doing this? I have a campaign here that's paused. It contains 50 locations or 49 locations that I want to copy from here and put them into my new campaign, like I was talking about earlier with segmentation. So down here on the bottom left, you go to locations, select all with Control A, Control C to copy, go into our new campaign, delete United States, and then Control V to paste. There we go. Simple as that. We just added, I believe it's 49 states. I'm not targeting Alaska or Hawaii. Yeah, that's it. The second thing I want to do is go back up to the campaign level right here. I want to search for add schedule. Here it is. So I want to copy this entire campaign here. Right click copy or Control C. Go here. When we select our campaign that we just created, notice this paste. So we just pasted an ad schedule from one campaign to another. Now, since we did that, what I want to do now is copy this entire campaign shell. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. It's really that simple. Notice they have the same names. So we're going to have to change this to say outside. So studio outside. There we go. I basically want to keep everything the same, even the ad group name. I just want to change the video. So we go over here. We find the ads section. Sorry, my microphone is in the way here. Can't really see it. Should have probably adjusted that. And here we go. We have this in-stream video ad. This is the video ID. Notice that it is in the interface here. How to start YouTube advertising studio. So what I want to do instead is get that video ID of my other ad right here. Let's copy that. I'll just paste it right here. I just need that ID. There we go. And we want to replace that video ID there. Okay, it says edit selected TrueView in-stream video ads. Has this triangle. That means there's a warning going on. And what we can do is check changes because I want everything else to be the same. So I'm checking the changes now. Check changes there. And hopefully this will come back with a green, like good to go kind of sign. Yep, green check mark, so that's good. So now we should have two different video ads. If we select these two campaigns, there we go. Last thing to do is simply post our changes. Post. And you know what we should have done also is we should have added negative app category exclusions. Let me show you how to do that real quick. So over here, let's search for app categories negative. Let's select a campaign. We'll say campaign level. All apps, we can just literally select that all apps top level item and just add it there. We'll copy, paste. Oops. Well, we'll just do it this way. Again, we select that. This. Okay. All right. So we have done that. Let's post that change as well. So we've excluded app categories altogether. Not like it would have mattered. I'm glad I got to show you that though. Why wouldn't it have mattered? Good question. Let's wrap this video up, or this part of the video up, by showing you. Let's refresh here. Let's filter our campaigns by only active ones. So let's select all enabled. We are in the videos section. Now let's just choose the studio one because that's kind of what we did to begin with. Now let's look at the devices on this campaign. Notice they say negative 100%, negative 100%, negative 100%. So we're only targeting computers which don't have app categories to my knowledge. So it didn't really make a difference, but at least you know how to do it. So we have finished launching our two campaigns like we promised. Now we're going to just sit back and see how these perform. It might take somewhere between 24 to 48 hours for Google to get around to it. The last time I uploaded a video ad, it took a week. So it can definitely vary. The next time you see me, we're going to see how these videos do. Hey guys, welcome back. I want to talk about the results from the campaign now. Before I do, I want to jump into ad scheduling real quick. I said you could set bid modifiers or bid adjustments. If you go and try to do this when you're using an automated bid strategy, so let me show you what I mean. Here in the campaign, if we go here and we look at the settings, we can see that the bid strategy is maximize conversions. When you have a maximize conversions bid strategy or even a target CPA bid strategy, that means that your campaign is being governed by automated bidding rules. So when you go in here to set the ad schedule and set bid adjustments on these different time slots, it's not going to work. It's not going to do anything. Just so you know for sure, ad scheduling bid adjustments are not available for campaigns using an automated bid strategy. Types of automated bid strategies, maximize conversions. And lastly, just to drive it home, if your campaign is using automated bid strategies other than maximize clicks, it's not possible to set ad scheduling bid adjustments. However, the way I told you to set it up, which is pretty much to segment it like you see here, is still the exact same way I would do it every single time, because you can see the performance at each time slot. Okay. Another thing I want to mention is that when we look at the campaigns here, I set $10 for budget for these both campaigns each day. We ran it for 2 days. So $10 a day, 2 campaigns, that's $20 a day. For 2 days, that's $40. You can see I spent a total of $80, roughly. That means it spent double. Recall that I set a standard delivery. So if we look at the settings of this campaign, we go into budget, the delivery method is standard. So that's why I said there's no need to set accelerated, especially if you're doing keyword targeting only, because that's going to reach a very broad audience. But when would you want to use accelerated? I'll give you a good example. Let's say you were targeting only 5 videos. And let's say your budget was very high because these are super relevant, very targeted. And let's say you're not spending your budget. That's when you would want to set accelerated. Also, you would set it when you are already optimized. You already have an optimized campaign and you're not spending your budget. You want to maximize and scale. So those are the 2 tips there. Now I want to talk about the fact that we're here on this content exclusions. Remember, I set games as an excluded content type. I didn't want anything to do with games. As you will see, that was pretty much ignored. So let's go into the video campaigns again. Go up here. These are our results, 2 campaigns. The metrics I pay attention to are impressions, clicks for sure, because these are people that are clicking through your ad to go to the place that you want them to. We also want to pay attention to, in my opinion, views and view rate. View rate is a strong metric that I pay attention to. You want people to view it. And let me go here, view, YouTube. I don't know, that was a terrible query. The view, okay, so YouTube ads view definition. Okay, there, that's a better query. Okay, so with TrueView ads, you pay when a viewer watches 30 seconds of your video, or the duration if it's shorter than 30 seconds, or interacts with your video, whichever comes first. So when I look and see views, these are people that fall within that definition, okay? That's why views are important, because you don't pay unless they actually view it. So you want a high view rate. A good benchmark would probably be about 15%. The cost per view here is much higher than I'm used to paying in this test. So that would be an alarm for me. So I would say no. I would probably want to do a cost per view campaign next time with the same videos and see how it does. Or I might want to do an ad sequence campaign, see how it does. This will tell you the average cost per 1,000 impressions. This is the cost of each video. And then if we scroll over here, we have this video played to. This is really important. This shows you how much of the video people are watching. So this 100%, you want to see a high completion rate. If people are watching your video 100% all the way through, that's a good sign. However, don't forget the context. It might be that your video is only 8 seconds long. People are completing it 100%. That's not surprising because it's so short. So there's a relationship between the duration of your video and how many are actually completing it. Keep that in mind as well. But you just want to maximize how many people can actually watch your entire video. Okay, and then the last thing is conversions. That's something that I obviously want. You'll see I got 2 conversions. Both of them came from the studio campaign. Remember, we only had 7 clicks. So from that 7 clicks, 2 people actually converted. That's pretty good. The only thing I don't like is the fact that my cost per conversion is higher than I would like. So keep in mind, this is very broad targeting, and let's take a look at that. Go into the keywords section here. Let's add a filter outside studio. So recall we are bidding on keywords like YouTube ads. I want to show you this. Let's go into one of the campaigns. Notice that the impressions distribution isn't just towards one keyword in particular. It's not weighted. It's actually nicely distributed. And that's kind of what you want to see. If a keyword isn't working, you can pause it. So that's pretty much it there. That's the only thing I want to say. Now let's look at the placements. So recall that we did block games right off the bat. Let me add this filter here, outside studio. Now remember, I don't have any placements. I'm only using keyword targeting. So this is where we want to say where ads showed. Let me add this filter again. So for our studio and our outside campaign, we are sorting by cost. And we have $5 here and $3 here. So this channel, Grim, we spent about $8 on it. Let's take a look what this channel is. This is where you can click the link and you can inspect the channel and in a way vet the channel. Make sure it's relevant. Right off the bat, this does not look relevant to me at all for YouTube advertising or YouTube ads. So what we can do is click this and this, and then we say view details to see where like why our ad was triggered. And the reason is this placement detail. And it was for this same video. This family is ruining YouTube. So let's take a look. So we have this video here. It's basically like this guy, he plays video games and he talks about social events or videos on YouTube. That's pretty much what I think it's about. I don't really know. I have this vidIQ plugin. There will be a link in the description below. Just a warning, that is an affiliate link. I don't want to try and trick anyone. You don't have to go through my link. You can just go to vidIQ, type it in Google. What this plugin can do is it tells you whether or not this video is optimized. So it has this checklist. This is helpful when you're making your own videos and you want to optimize them for YouTube. Also, it shows you the video tags very easily. What I'm looking for here is whether or not the tags have YouTube in them. You like YouTube ads or advertising. And we see ad. We see Facebook ads. We see leads. So maybe the tag there, Facebook ads, plus the fact that it has the word YouTube in the title. There could be a lot of reasons why Google Ads contextually mapped my keywords and my videos to this particular placement. But overall, not relevant, right? So what you can do is you click these, you click edit, and you exclude from your campaign. I've already done that. In fact, let me pull open Google Ads Editor. I'll show you how to do it. So since I have two campaigns here, that I'm adding like a negative placement to one of them, but maybe not to the other. So one thing you can do is we'll get recent changes. These are the two campaigns. I'll do this very briefly, hopefully not take up too much of your time, but this is more of a tactic. So we want to go over here into YouTube channels, negatives. So we're actually blocking their entire channel instead of their specific placement. So like instead of a specific video ID, what you do with the entire account selected or just the campaign selected, let's just select them like this. Control A, Control C. Then we go make multiple changes. Use the selected destinations and add these as campaign level negatives. Process says you must select, oh, okay, there we go. Okay, process. So this added one. We could sort it here. So this one new negative will be added. This negative is also in this campaign here, but it wasn't in here. That's just how you bulk add them very quickly. And then we post. Select all campaigns, post. Okay. So we just added that negative channel. That's just one way to do it. Another way, if you're going to do YouTube advertising, and this is a tip you should probably listen to. Before spending any money, just go through YouTube, find a bunch of channels. And if they're not relevant to what you're about to offer, compile that list, make it as big as you can, keep that as a master list. Because that master list will help prevent your ads from showing up on content that is not going to be relevant to your offer. Now, it's true that some of those could be very big channels. And if you're targeting by people, by who they are, so let's say you're using audiences or remarketing, then you really want to be careful with this technique. If you have a master list, people are watching PewDiePie, and then, they won't see your ad, even though they might be relevant to your audience. So just keep that in mind. Master list is the way to go, though. You could add it at the account level. Let me show you an exclusions. So this is the exclusions. So these are all the exclusions that I ended up adding. I didn't do a ton of optimization on this. I just kind of excluded some of these channels as they came in that I noticed were not relevant. So that's what you want to do. You'll want to vet the channels that are coming in, check out the details of where they're showing up, understand why they're showing up, and then take action immediately. So I would not recommend doing YouTube ads if you want to just sit back and let it roll. You actually have to be really proactive. You have to really vet every single cent that you're spending money on. That would be my advice. Okay. So how could we take this information and how could we optimize going forward? Well, instead of doing keyword targeting, what I could do is pause these keywords, or, honestly, because it takes so long to get ads reviewed lately, these ads, they took 39 hours, 40 hours, even though they say it's supposed to take 24 hours. And like I said last time, it took a week. So I don't want to resubmit these ads again, but ideally you would just create new ad groups. Instead of calling the ad groups, let me filter this. Instead of calling the ad groups in-stream keywords, you would call them in-stream placements. And you just copy the ads over. And this time you choose very specific placements. And you target only those videos or only those channels. And that's where you really get precision. That's where you're going to see the best possible results with your YouTube advertising. And that's where I would recommend people start out. So that's pretty much it. That's YouTube ads in a nutshell. I do have a YouTube ads course. If you're interested, it's only $10. I want to just make it accessible for everybody. It kind of talks about a lot of the same things that I just talked about, but it also goes really in depth, a lot more. And to be honest, I made the course probably too big. It's kind of a massive course, but you could use it as a reference if you ever get stuck, or if you ever want to know my take on any particular feature within AdWords or Google Ads, then it's definitely in that course. So feel free to check it out. The link will be in the description below. If you haven't subscribed, if you got a lot of value out of this is a new channel. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe, if and only if you like content like this and you want more of stuff like this. So thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it. Peace.